Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of the Homebody Chronicles. So, what are we going to talk about today? Honestly, I have no idea. So, I was preparing for this episode for a while and literally writing notes, doing research, finding things that I wanted to bring up, and honestly, that's all going through the door as we speak right now. And I think the main reason is just the fact that I am very nervous, and I feel like if I stick to a script, it'll be too robotic, and we're not trying to do that. It's our first time meeting. We need to loosen up. Imagine you're meeting someone for the first time and they're reading off a script. Like, I wouldn't want to talk to them again, would you? But I guess I'll start off by introducing myself. So I'm Zoe. Some people call me Priscilla. Some people call me Zoe. Whatever one you like. You'll probably be hearing both on here. But yeah, whatever one you prefer, feel free to call me that. I'm a young, I was going to say new graduate, but I've been out of school for 4 years now? I was about to say my age, but we don't know each other like that yet. So we'll save that for another episode. But yeah, I didn't really want this episode to be about me just talking about myself. Number one, because I don't like doing that. And number two, that's not what this podcast is going to be about. This will be a space for me to chat with you, but also express the things that I've learned. So from other people, my environment, my experiences, but also hear from other people and their stories. So yeah, this is not my podcast, is what I'll say. But I'm excited. I think this will be good. One thing I will say about myself is that I'm definitely a perfectionist. I've been a perfectionist for as long as I can remember. I don't think I could think of a time where I wasn't trying to make things pristine and proper. I think in my adulthood, I've tried to let go of a lot of my perfectionist ways. Mainly because I realize that perfectionism is really just fear and procrastination wrapped up in something nice. So that's one thing that we'll probably get into a little bit more on another episode. But yeah, I feel like procrastination definitely delayed me starting this. Procrastination, fear, just a lot of things. But one thing about me, if you didn't already, I don't know if you know me, I don't know how you could not know this, but just in case you didn't, I'm a disciple of Jesus Christ. He is my Lord and Savior. And everything I do revolves around him and what he's done in my life. So you're going to hear a lot about him on here. So be prepared. Oh, that's the other thing. One of the things that was kind of hindering me from starting this is because I feel like, and the reason why I say feel like is because I'm trying to not necessarily make this a fact, but it's a feeling. I feel like sometimes I struggle with putting my thoughts into words. I think I'm good at it. I think I'm good at thoughts to paper, but thoughts to verbal words, I feel like I struggle. So one of the things that I hope to kind of improve throughout this journey is just my overall articulation and how I express myself and how I come across. So I'm saying all that to say that for this episode and maybe the next couple episodes that I do, you'll probably be hearing me say quite a bit, but that's okay, right? I hope you guys are cool with that. I hope so. Yeah, what kind of things can you expect to hear about? I guess before we get into that, we'll talk about the title and why I've called this the Homebody Chronicles. Have I even said that? Have I said welcome to the first episode of Homebody Chronicles? I don't know. If I haven't, welcome to the first episode of the Homebody Chronicles with your host, Priscilla Zoe. But yeah, why the Homebody Chronicles? The main reason is because I'm a homebody. Shocker. But yeah, I definitely describe myself as a homebody. I'm definitely introverted. I like my own space. I'd say 90% of my hobbies are things I can do by myself. But the reason why I decided to make an entire podcast revolving around this persona is because I have found, I should say, in my own life and also just in chatting with people and meeting new people, a lot of the successful people that I have met have perfected, or I won't say perfected, but have cultivated a lifestyle of focus, independence, and simple living. And a lot of that, to me, is revolving around being a homebody. I don't know if I'm explaining that well, but I'm going to read a post from a content creator that I've been following for a little while. Let me get that. But his name is... Girl, why weren't you prepared? One moment. I'm just opening up the post so I can say his name correctly. Okay, his name is Jonathan Goodman. His handle is Coach Goodman. He's a Canadian content creator. I don't really know how I would describe his content. I guess his content is like fitness, but also lifestyle, simple living. Yeah, but I'm going to read a post that he posted, and I feel like it perfectly describes everything that I want this podcast to be about and what I want it to focus on, because everything that I want to, introduce or that I want to feature and highlight are all things that are near and dear to me as a homebody, as a self-professed homebody. Okay, so the post says, be boring, in quotations. Wake up early, go to bed early, go for long walks, drink mostly water, see friends and family, turn off social media often, eat the same nutritious foods, progress, using the same exercises. Being boring makes for bad content, but a great life. So that's the post, and then I'll read his caption. It says, I happily admit that my life is boring. Most days I do the same thing, and often when the time comes to publish content, I get stuck. Do I really need to post again about the value of following routine fundamentals with fitness and business, and how it leads to boringly predictable good outcomes? But then I remind myself that there's value in the mundane, and so I'll keep talking about it, and I hope you do too. So yeah, that's pretty much, he took the words out of my mouth. I definitely think that, like he said, there's value in the mundane. There's value in repetition. There's value in consistency. Now, mind you, all these things on the list that he provided are all things that I'm also working and striving towards. For example, the wake up early and go to bed early. Yeah, not there yet. Especially hard when you live in a family or a household of night owls. I feel like we all get our energy at night, and we're all doing something at night. So the combination of a household of creatives, but also night owls, it's difficult. Like I used to go to the gym in the morning. My gym opens at 7, so I'd try to get there for like 7:15. Yeah, lately that has not been a thing. I'm definitely like an evening workout girl now, which honestly, the gym is always full then, so I've had to become a little bit more creative. The evening is also when you'll see, like, I hate to say it, but the weirdos. And you kind of just have to, like I said, be a bit more creative. But anyways, that's one thing that I'm navigating at the moment. Drinking mostly water. Y'all, I wouldn't say years ago, probably years ago, like maybe a year to 2 years ago, I started drinking water like 95% of the time. I would only drink like juice or pop or anything that wasn't water on Sundays. And honestly, the benefits are crazy. Like, I know people always talk about drinking water and minding your business, but it's true, y'all. Like, my skin, just overall my energy, like in the morning, I'm not a coffee drinker, but in the morning, when I wake up, I brush my teeth and I drink a ton of water. And when I tell you, you will wake up, like, it doesn't matter how little sleep you got, there's something about it that just wakes you up. So I promise you, y'all should try that. Now, I only like recently, and by recently I mean like in the last 2 weeks, have started drinking the amount of water I'm supposed to be drinking. I thought I was drinking enough water, but I recently found out that I wasn't drinking enough water. And it's been, the benefits have been quite noticeable. I guess we're going to just go through each of his points and talk about them. The C, friends and family. Now, this is where I think balance comes in, because obviously as a homebody, you're not necessarily seeing your friends and family. I think there's value in having a great circle of people around you. Definitely quality over quantity. I'm not saying that if you have a lot of friends that it's wrong. It's just rare to have a lot of friends that are all quality and that are all going to benefit you spiritually, emotionally, career-wise. And then also, friendship is not a self-centered thing. So I think there's also a value to having people that you're able to pour into, able to sacrifice for, able to put yourself to serve them, essentially, and to be of service to them, serve them of service. Yeah. Turn off social media often. Now, this is a huge one. I think it's easy to fall into the trap of comparison when you are constantly taking in social media. And for me, comparison is one of the main things that kind of hinders me from reaching my goals or reaching just in a mindset of just focus and productivity and just being healthy, essentially, in every single aspect of my life. So I think turning off social media definitely helps in that area of my life. Right now I've been on this routine of I only have Instagram right now. I guess WhatsApp a social media? I guess so. But right now, I have WhatsApp and I have Instagram, and I'm only really on Instagram on the weekends. So I literally delete the app off of my phone every Sunday night, and then I re-download it on like Friday evenings, just because, I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, there's balance to everything. So for me, social media, especially Instagram, is how I keep up with friends all around the world, family all around the world. So it's definitely not something that at least right now in my life, I don't see myself completely removing social media from my life, but there's balance. So turn it off, delete the app if you have to, mute certain words, block people. I'm so like, y'all, it doesn't take much for me to block somebody. And when I say it doesn't take much, like if I feel like I need to block you, then I'm gonna block you. You know, I think social media has kind of skewed our concept of like simple day-to-day respect, and I feel like sometimes people just get a little bit too audacious on there. So if I block you, I might unblock you later, but in that moment, I might block you if you act up a little bit too much. The next point he talks about is eating the same nutritious foods. Now this one, I won't say, I'll be honest and say that I'm not necessarily doing anything intentional and active in terms of eating nutritious foods. I'm not a huge junk food eater, but do I eat out sometimes? Of course I do. I'm not a huge portion size eater either, so I feel like sometimes I can definitely be fueling myself a bit better. I try, but maybe this is something we'll journey through together and you'll see my journey is what I should say. Progress using the same exercises. So this is a fun one. I love talking about fitness and exercise, which is interesting because growing up throughout my entire life, I've never considered myself to be athletic or physically inclined. But in the last, I'd say year to 2 years, I've thought about fitness a lot more. Your body is a temple of the Holy Ghost, so you better make sure it's nice and clean in there, and that obviously isn't only physical, but number one is obviously spiritual. But yeah, that's the end of the list. But I hope you guys kind of got the gist of what I'd like to kind of cover and discuss and have conversations about on this podcast. Different days will have different things. Hopefully I get to start having some pretty interesting guests on here. Just different people in my network, different people who are experts or experienced in their field. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to talk about. I don't want this to come across as I know this. You guys should take my advice and listen to me, because at the end of the day, I'm still learning, and I think this is a way for me to learn. But this is just a place for us to have conversations, for us to be honest and open. I was going to say a safe space, but me and that word are a little bit, we're not friends. Let's just say that. We might be acquaintances sometimes, but sometimes I really have a problem with, I just feel like the word safe space is overused. Maybe we'll talk about that more. Who knows? I don't know. But in the sense that I want this to be a place where people can be open and honest and truthful and vulnerable and shed light on things and just overall be themselves, then in that case, I guess it is a safe space. But yeah, I don't know if there's anything else I want to cover right now. Let's keep this short and sweet, I guess. Let me go through some notes here. Yeah, there's not really much else that I want to talk about. Oh, I have a fun story. I don't know if it's a fun story, but it's something that I don't know. I keep telling people about it because I was just so happy about it. But if you guys didn't know, something about me is that my dream car is an Audi R8. I do like Audi R8 GTs to be specific, but honestly, maybe I shouldn't do that. There's only been 333. I mean, y'all can fact check me on this, but there's only been 333 made globally, like in the entire planet. And guess how many was sent to Canada? 9. Y'all, they really didn't want to see me win. But anyways, that Audi R8s are my favorite car, my dream car. Like just thinking about them right now just gets me they're just a beautiful car, okay? That's all I'm going to say. And one day I was driving home from a Tuesday night church service all by myself, just in my thoughts, obviously paying attention to the road at the same time. But I look over and I see a car and I'm like, that car looks like an Audi R8. But it wasn't. It was like a Honda. I think it was a Honda Civic. Nah, I don't think it was a Honda Civic. I don't know. It was a Honda something. And I was like, I don't know. I just kind of got lost in my thoughts thinking about Audi R8s. Tell me why, less than 5 minutes later, one pulled up right next to me. Do you know how rare it is to see? It wasn't a GT, but it was an R8. Do you know how rare it is to just like be driving, at least in the area that I was at the time, and for a Audi R8 to pull up right next to you? Y'all, it might be a sign. It might be a sign. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, we're at 20 minutes now. Wow. Yikes. I hope you guys enjoyed that. But a few things to talk about for future episodes. Like I said, this is all a learning process. So the audio, I'm still figuring out my recording setup. So if you hear some funny things or you hear some background noise, we'll figure it out. So there's that. Also, right now we don't have any visuals, but that's okay because we are working on a space for me to start recording audio as well as video. But for now, you can find us on Spotify, I guess anywhere you listen to your podcasts right now, I guess. Spotify, iTunes, and also YouTube. Because I listen to podcasts on YouTube. I don't know about anybody else, but I listen to... No, not somebody vacuuming. Yo. Somebody started vacuuming. Anyways, I hope you guys can still hear me. I hope you can't hear the vacuuming happening. But you know what? This is just one of the things we're going to have to learn to navigate around. So thanks for listening. See you guys in the next episode, which will be out 1 week from today. Take care. I hope you're excited as much as I am. And this was an episode of the Homebody Chronicles. That's the other thing. We need to figure out our intros and outros. But until then, bye, everybody. See ya.